I'm Mike Major. I've been painting with pastels for over 40 years. I love painting with pastels. I've only been plein air painting with pastels probably for the last 15 years, so I don't do any studio work anymore just because I make a big mess and you know, health concerns, Prop 65, what have you. All right. Okay, well, thanks. I've never painted with a headset on, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm really honored to be selected, so thanks for having me. I've never painted in front of a bunch of pastel painters. Usually I paint in front of a bunch of people who don't know anything about pastels. So I'm not gonna try to fool you with any pastel double talk. So as I'm painting, I'll just kind of talk about what I'm doing or trying to do, and if you have questions, just you shout them out. Because I'm a plein air painter, I'm not really prone to being thrown off, or disruptions aren't ever an issue. So if you want to move closer too, I mean, it's kind of hard to see from back there. If you want to move closer, you can. If not, I'm going to get started. So I got this super cool photograph from Laguna. We'll see if I can crank that out in an hour, no pressure. So I make my own board. I paint with this exclusively. It's a big part of what I do. The color of, yeah, go ahead.
Why do you paint on your board?
Well, first off, it's awesome. That's the main reason. But to break it down a little bit more, it's really sturdy in the wind. It's the most economical surface that I've ever painted on. And I've tried just about every surface that's out there, and I like it the best. So what I do is I have acrylic paint, water, pumice gel, mix it together, paint it on, usually with a brush. I brought rollers today just to speed it up. But what happens is you can see the underpainting sticking through. The pumice gel is equals about a 400 grit. But that's one level of texture. But then the board, it brings a whole nother dimension to it, because you see the wood grain through the board unless you're overworking your board. Yeah.
What kind of board do you use?
I use a 3/16 good two-side piece of plywood that I buy at Home Depot for about 23 bucks for a 4x8 sheet, and they cut it down to size for me. So yeah, like an ampersand board, pastel board. I remember having a 24x36, and this was maybe 20 years ago, and it was like 50 bucks, right? It was pretty crazy. So, I mean, I don't mind spending money on materials. That's not the issue. I mean, I've got, 400 pastels here that I carry around with me when I plein air paint. But it's just the best surface. And, you know, you can change up the color. Every time I paint on a different color. I've never painted on this color board before. But because I'm painting like this sunset, I thought it would be good to have that orange peeking through the painting. And the grain of the wood kind of harmonizes the whole thing, because you see that color throughout.
Can you show us that paint on that photograph on the screen?
I don't know. I can't, but I'm willing to share. I know, and I didn't even doctor that up. It was just like that when I turned the corner.
Mike, do you ever use MDF board instead of this panel?
No, I don't use MDF. I like the texture of the plywood.
Because you just put, how many layers of gesso do you put over the plywood?
It's acrylic paint, pumice gel, water, and I'll do it twice.
Acrylic paint, pumice, so you actually do it with the pumice twice.
So yeah, I just roll it on, not too heavy. If you over apply that, then you don't have it. It makes it so you can't paint on it as long.
Sorry,
So it's kind of like your mom's banana bread.
because it's actually being projected onto.
Just like a little recipe, right?
Does that make it archival when you put the acrylic on it?
That's a good question. I don't know, but I've never had it be an issue where it didn't last. I'm pretty sure the woods are archival, the pumice gel is, the pastels are, but that is important to me, so that's a good question. I don't know the
I
answer
didn't
to
know
that.
if plywood had any kind of,
Well, they've been painting on plywood for a long time, right? I mean, I guess they didn't call it plywood at some point, but. And so I'm just throwing down some of the darks, and I'm kind of putting a roadmap of where I want to paint and what I want to do. And it doesn't matter to me if you start dark or start light. That's the beauty of pastel. You can work any direction you want. And this easel I've got, I love this thing. It holds really big work, and it's really sturdy in the wind. Although, I did have one blow off the edge of a cliff once. And it was so sad because it made it tougher to finish my painting. I'm sorry?
Did you retrieve it?
I did. And I'm not the most agile anymore, so I was definitely risking my life to get the...
So the painting survived, but not the easel.
And the sad part was, this is the part that broke, right? And that's the only part you can't buy separately. And then I tried gluing it together. It was like in 3 pieces, and it didn't go in through the hole, and so I just bought a new one.
So Micah, this is your plein air setup, right? So you take that out.
Yeah, this is my setup.
And then where do you put your pastels?
I just put them wherever,
Like on a
anything on the ground,
chair or what?
whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just, I don't have anything special that I put them on, but I just set them down. And hope that someone doesn't step on them. I remember I was painting with La Papa, and they had a paint out at the San Juan, the mission, and Thomas Kitts was doing the demo there, and so I've been painting by that fountain, doing those water lilies and stuff, and he goes, "Hey, can I help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be awesome." And so he comes up and he starts grabbing pastels. He's never painted with pastels before, and he works on it a little bit and shows me about simplifying my shapes and things like that. I'm like, "Oh, okay, thanks so much." And then he steps on my box of pastels. And they're like everywhere. And this is when I had one of those big, who makes the big wooden box? Yeah, I had the big one, right? He just steps right in the middle of it. And then he promptly said, "Okay, I'll see you later." I mean, he said sorry, right? But what are you gonna say, right? And I can't even tell you how many times I've dropped the box or had him spill. I mean, it's kind of like almost like a ritual. I don't even know why I'm holding the phone right now. And this is weird with this cord here. I'm a plein air painter. I don't care about distractions or interruptions or stray chords. So for everything for me, when I paint, it has to feel good. That's another reason why I like this surface, is it just feels really good when I'm painting on it. So whatever medium I'm painting in, it's critical that it feels good. Any more questions? It's not a career. It's just something that I love doing. I would hope that one day it could be a career, but I've been in big box retail management for about 45 years. So I worked at like Home Depot for 18 years and Walmart for 15 years, and so yeah, I'm getting to that point. My wife gave me permission that I can retire in a year. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yay.
So I can get a lot of painting done. I love painting. I'd paint every day if I could. Probably paint 5 days a week now, on average.
And Mike, most of it is plein air?
Pardon me?
Most of it is plein air?
It's all plein air now. I mean, this isn't, but everything else I do is.
You also do watercolor and oils.
I do gouache. Yeah, I'm horrible at watercolor. Although I'll use watercolor as an underpainting for pastels on sanded paper. I like doing that. It's really quick.
What brand of pastels do you use?
I use Terry Ludwig now exclusively. I like the shape, I like the feel, I like the color. Although sometimes you get those really hard ones, they look like they're going to be a great color, and then all of a sudden they're like a brick. But overall, I like that. And then I like buying individual sticks. I got a bunch of sets, but like I'll pick. Like this palette is for a specific place that I paint a lot. So I just picked out individual pieces and put them together. I noticed when I used to go to the buy pastels at a bunch of places, I'd end up just grabbing the same colors over and over and over again because they're my favorite colors.
And do you live in the Laguna area?
I live in Yorba Linda, but I'm in a gallery in Laguna, and I paint there all the time. So it's really where I do most of my painting. And I paint almost, it seems like I'm painting like the same thing, like all the time, but you know, I never get tired of it, which it's different, and it's different every time I paint it, which I love. You know, I think about like Monet, who's my favorite artist. You know, he does those series of whatever scene, and I just like that idea, because every day, every hour, when you're plein air painting, it's different. And so it makes you do a lot of, and how many people plein air paint? Okay, so a lot of you, so you guys know, you just have to figure it out. And the thing with pastels, right, they always tell you in most painting, never chase the light. I'm always chasing the light. I am always chasing the light. I'm never, like, I can't even imagine just like putting down a shadow value pattern in the beginning of the beginning of the painting and then just sticking with that, right? Because that seems less true to nature than capturing that last moment, but having it be what you saw, right? And so a lot of times I'll know what the sun is going to do because of where I'm going to paint, and I'll build the painting up slowly, knowing that at the end it's going to be different. And so it's like just a big crescendo at the end. And generally I like to paint quickly. The faster I paint, usually the better it is. When I stop and when I'm thinking about stuff too much, it's when it becomes a real problem.
15 minutes, Mike.
I've taken 15 minutes? Man, I'm way behind. I gotta speed up. Thank you for that.
Hold you to an hour.
Yeah, I like that.
Can you recycle your board?
Recycle it?
For example, wash it off and start some.
No, I don't know. I've never done that. So I used to just paint once and done. Whatever it was, and hopefully it was good. Then I started taking out my paintings a couple times. So I put maybe 6 hours into a plein air painting, where before it was like about 3-4 hours at the most. It seemed like anytime I went out to paint, I was usually the first one there and the last one to go. It's just kind of nature. I'm kind of a grinder like that. This year I had to break down, or maybe it was a little over a year, I broke down, I had to get a wagon because of my stuff. It's about 40 pounds of stuff carrying. So I gave up. I said, okay, I'm gonna be a wagon person. So You know, one of the things that I've learned over time is that you can't be afraid of the outcome. And I think the more you're concerned with how it's going to turn out, ends up making the painting not as good as it could be. So I'm a big advocate for having no fear when you paint. I think it just slows you down. And if you're slowing down and you're overthinking things, then that's going to be a bad painting. And some of my best paintings, you know, when I'm pressed against time in a competition or something, the best part of the painting is at the very end when I'm worried about making the time, where I've just got to just throw caution to the wind and throw it down.
What training have you had?
I took a basic drawing class at Fullerton Junior College in 1980. That's the extent of my formal training. It's a pretty long part of my biography.
Did you take any workshops with anyone?
I don't take workshops. I'm self-taught, and I think that, you know, people tell me, I don't know, they say I have a different kind of style, and that style, I think, is, if it is true, is because I've set my own path, you know, and I've looked at, I know what I like and I know what I don't like, and I've just always strived to work towards things that I like. And I don't, you know, there's nothing wrong with change. I don't feel like I'm stuck. I'm always changing things up a little bit, and I like experimenting. And I'm pretty determined with things that I like doing. You know, and the more you like something, the more you do it. The more you do it, the better you get.
Did you start with gouache and move to pastel?
No, I started with pen and ink, and I was scribbling. Well, I mean, we talk about it. So my first good experience with art was I was in an art contest when I was 5 years old, and my parents framed my painting, and so then that was it. That's all it took, and then I was hooked. And then, you know, I would constantly doodle in front of the television, watching all those Nixon hearings. Remember all those? I don't know why I was watching that, but I would just doodle for hours, and then the doodling became more substantial. Then I got into some more intricate pen and ink. Then I did a lot of photorealistic pencil drawings, which I love doing, but it just takes so long, you know, 40 hours for you know, a drawing this big is just ridiculous. And it's satisfying when you're done, but it's kind of tedious. Huh?
Did you try charcoal? Or?
I've never tried charcoal. I've never tried acrylic paint, other than, you know, putting down this underpainting. How much time have I used?
20 minutes.
Oh, good. All right. I feel like I'm more on track. So usually when I paint, I'm putting down like a roadmap, markers, you know, that followed, so that I'm keeping everything relative to the composition. A lot of times, a lot of my paintings have palm trees in them, so I'll just throw those palm trees in there and then kind of adjust the composition around that. Feels like I'm breathing heavy because I have the
You're making you nervous.
speaker. No, totally not nervous. Much.
And so sometimes you use this, you haven't used this color back or before, is that right?
No, this is the first time.
And what color do you usually use?
I'm sorry?
What color do you usually use?
I use a lot of purples.
Yeah.
I use a lot of purples, and I'll use dark oranges a lot. Yeah, I generally like a mid to dark tone. I don't like working in the lighter tone boards generally. I think it takes a lot more pastel to get a good painting when you do that. So this board, I can tell, doesn't have the right amount of tooth on it because I've already kind of filled that up. Usually I can work a long time in an area, but that's okay. And then I have like some personal rules. You know, I don't expect anybody to agree with them, but I'm not trying to upset anybody, but I don't blend. You know, like anybody who like gets their finger out, I look at that like cheating. So I always just put one mark over the other. But I mean, if you cheat, it's okay. I don't care. It's just for me. Yeah, I'm pretty understanding like that. So I can't believe, Mike, you're 88 and you're freaking just here knocking out killer paintings all the time.
Mike? Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, so I just want to take a moment. I mean, I don't know Mike. I like him. I met him just a minute ago, but I just want to sing happy birthday to Mike, if that's okay. I don't know if it's going to sound very good in this microphone, but we'll see. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mike. Happy birthday to you.
Come on.
Don't you guys forget to say and many more after you sing that.
And
Many
Double
more.
H, the double H is supposed to resemble grains of rice. And rice in Japan is a staple, you know, of food. I mean, it's when you have a lot of rice, you feel rich. Because in the old days, you didn't have much food. So if you had a lot of rice, you felt rich. So, and people that ate a lot of rice lived a long time. So today, that's not the case. You eat a lot of rice, you get a lot of carbs, and you get fat. You know? But I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, 88 is a significant year for Japanese men. So I thought, well, why not celebrate with my friends? So that's the reason.
nice.
Anyway, I agree with Mike about when you lay your pastels down. When I take workshops with a lot of people, they're trying to do the Mona Lisa every time. You know, it's like they're gonna take that painting home. It's gonna be the most precious thing in the world, and they don't want anybody to touch it and whatever. They put it in glassine. Hey, when you take a workshop, it's just a workshop.
Yeah.
Lay that pastel down and throw it on the ground, stomp on it, and it's a learning experience. Because if you teach it, if you keep it as a precious thing, you're not going to get any better. Because every stroke, you're going to think about, gee, am I going to put the right stroke on? So just put the stroke in and worry about it later, you know? That's how you get good. You don't get good by just being intimidated by each stroke that you make.
Yeah, you can't be tight. Tight is the enemy of creativity. you know, and like Mike said, I mean, this is just one painting. And not, I mean, you know, I want to have a great painting for you guys, but I mean, in the scope of things, you know, I just threw out 150 paintings earlier this year just because I didn't have room for them in the garage, and they didn't cut the mustard. So it wasn't very emotional at all, to be honest. You know, if you're honest about your work, I think that's essential to getting better, because if you're lying to yourself, then what's the challenge? And so I think, you know, when they say, you know, you learn from your mistakes and those are your greatest lessons, you know, they might not be your greatest lessons, but I don't think you can have great success without great failure. I remember this one time I was painting with Deborah Hughes down in Balboa in a boat yard, and it was rainy, and you know, raining for pastels, that's not great. And I had a 2-foot by 3-foot board that I was gonna knock out. And I get down there and I pick these boats, and I start painting it and keep working it, and pretty soon the time's up and I gotta go. And I look at my painting and it's like the worst painting I've ever done, right? It's just horrible. You know, it looks like a kindergartner could have done a better job. And Deborah's, you know, so nice. She goes, "Oh man, he's so good at blocking in," right? And I'm thinking, oh my God, she's trying to be nice to me. I know I've really failed, right? When you get that sympathy, right, out of nowhere. And I took that board home and I laughed, right, because it was so horrible, and I just put it in the trash. I mean, I think it's the first time I've ever just taken a drawing straight from a place that I painted and just put it directly in the trash.
Mike, someone said earlier, are you able, if you find a painting you just hate, instead of washing it off, can you just re-gesso it or re-sand?
I don't see what the point is. This is so inexpensive a surface. It doesn't make sense from a time standpoint to try and do it. I mean, I guess you could wipe it down and just like make a blurry, like, but then you've used up the tooth too. I don't know.
Is there a right side and a wrong side so that you can just use the back of the board?
Well, it's good two sides, so either side is good, but I'll definitely when I grab a board and I'm looking at it to prepare it, I'll pick one side versus the other. And sometimes if I know where I'm painting, I'll even try to pick a board that kind of mimics with the grain, the landscape I'm gonna paint, which is kind of crazy, but sometimes it happens, not often, but.
Did you bring some of your other work with you?
I didn't. It's heavy.
Go home and get it.
It's heavy. I don't want to carry a 20-pound painting with glass and all that around. And honestly, you know, it's what we're doing today that matters. What I've done in the past, that already happened. You know, I can't change that. All I can do is work on this painting right now.
Mike, what is the name of the gallery that you were in?
It's Quorum,
Forum.
Quorum. So there's, I think, 13 artists in it. It's super apropos name, right? Because it's quorum. You got to have a quorum of opinions.
And that's in Beginning?
Yeah, it's on 375 North PCH. This is. Can I use this moment for a plug? Okay, awesome. So I'm one of the managers at the gallery, and I'm always looking for new artists. I'm in charge of guest artists and permanent artists. So if you're interested, let me know. It's a co-op. You have to pay a little bit of money, but we're super cheap. So generally speaking, I never put people in my paintings. I kind of like just nature. I've always been that way. I grew up where there was just fields and lakes everywhere in Michigan. And, you know, some people go, where's that painting? You know, and it'll be somewhere in the middle of a city or wherever, but it's just that little slice of land that hasn't been all messed up.
Where in Michigan are you from?
I was born in Detroit, and then I lived in Warren, and then West Bloomfield. And West Bloomfield was where there was just tons of lakes and ponds. And I was always catching animals and bringing them home. Like I caught a catfish once, barehanded, and brought it home and put it in the pond in the backyard. Caught this snake once. It was like 4 feet long. It was bigger than I was. It was scary. It was a blue racer, prettiest snake. This indigo color.
Now, I'm from that area also. When you say you lived in Warren for a while, I know Warren County. Is there a city, Warren?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was kind of, I think, a suburb of Detroit. I mean, it was a long time ago. I moved here in '79. Okay, how much time have I used?
31 minutes.
31 minutes. Oh, man. And I hope I don't mess it up.
You won't, you have to hurry.
Okay, I'll hurry. What's it look like?
That's good.
Oh yeah, it needs a lot of work. You're right, I gotta speed up.
How long do you stay out when you're planning or painting?
Well, it depends. So my record is 2 foot, 2 foot by 3 foot, and a 2 foot by 2 foot painting in one day. So that was quite an accomplishment. And I was out there for 8 hours straight.
And did you finish it or did you bring it back?
It was 3 finished pieces. And I didn't use the restroom. I feel like that was the biggest accomplishment out of all of it. It's funny because when I'm plein air painting, you know, I'll get so into it that I don't even know what else is going on. Like I'll bring drinks, I'll have an ice chest, I'll have a cooler, you know, and at the end of the paint, I'm like, oh man, I didn't even get a drink. Or, oh yeah, I didn't use I need to go to use the restroom.
I think that's called passion.
I love, I get to the point where it's just like, it's, I wouldn't say a trance, but it's super deep concentration. And, you know, a great painting is, you know, how many good decisions can you make in a row without messing up? And when you're in that mode, you really do just lose all sense of time. And it's just a really good experience.
Are you going to La Pava or a part of it, of the plein air in October?
Oh, you know, I've done that where I tag along, and I've taken a vacation time so that I can have that time off. But that's not going to be possible this year because I've got a vacation coming up later in the month. I'm going to go to Hawaii for 9 days, so I'm super excited. I don't know what I'm going to bring though to paint with. You know, I don't know what are the rules now, like for getting on an airplane. Can I bring my pastels?
Yeah, you don't want to put them in your suitcase, you want to carry them on. And you could put a note on the boxes that say non-toxic chalk, artist chalk.
But that's a lie.
No.
You think
These are pretty toxic, right?
But it's pastel.
But lie. Okay, I got it.
Or you say artist chalk.
All right.
Because, like, in the thingy, they can sometimes look like bullets.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to die at the airport.
When I traveled to a workshop, they said to find the MSDS sheet for your material and put that on top of the product.
Oh, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
you have to have it in your hands. It's the best way. I used to fly from Europe to here, and I had the pastel inside in the luggage, so they built into some kind of bullet, so they make it get down.
So there's that sign, I think. that-
Because they're like to put it in order,
Yeah.
and since then I have it in my hand. Show them.
All right, more questions. Keep me going. What's my favorite color?
Purple.
It could be purple. That's probably
Eggplant?
eggplant. Sure. That could be. I think purple is my favorite color.
So you said you didn't have enough too, because you didn't put enough pastel brown in the
In the yeah, in the mix.
Is it pastel brown that you use, or do you actually use your own pumice, like dry pumice?
I bought golden pumice gel. That's what I use.
Right, okay.
But you use acrylic paint with it, right?
Uh-huh.
And so when the painting is finished, it just goes in the glass frame?
It goes in the stack at home. Or if I like it, I'll leave it out for a while, and then my wife will say, "You have too much art laying every room. You've got to put it somewhere." That happens pretty often.
You don't spray it?
I don't spray it. I used to spray, but it didn't really do anything. I mean, it just darkens it up. And honestly, you know, I'll just throw it in the back of the car, and if it smudges, it's not even a big deal. It just takes a minute to just, you know, throw down a little bit more pastel on it, and it's good.
Mike, when you use each color, do you set it back to its original foam spot?
No.
You like keep it out?
Well, a lot of times I'll try to work the same color all over the painting at the same time. And everything's got a spot, so a lot of times it does just end up where it came from. But I'm not a slave to that organization thing, because honestly, you're just picking the color that you want. And so it shouldn't matter where it is, although whatever color it's sitting next to changes the way that color looks. But I like that whole thought about, you know, the most important color is the first one you put down. The second most important color is the second one. It was like a Charles Hawthorne thing, I think.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Is there a reason you don't use a pastel box that has those different?
These fit into the backpack.
Into
In the boxes.
In the Hillman backpack?
No, it's just a,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, just a backpack.
Okay.
You can see it there, it's in the card.
Okay.
I need a color I don't have, so I'm gonna have to make something up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that you know, that never really, that's a big part of it too. I never really worried about having the exact right color. I remember going to this demo where Ian Roberts wanted everyone to match these colors, right? And the whole workshop was just, or class, I guess, was just making the exact color. And I did struggle so hard the whole time. I couldn't come up with the color. He goes, okay, that's good.
Oh, so you did go to a workshop?
It wasn't a workshop, it was a plein air little thing. Come on.
I'm trying to bust you because like,
You are. I like that. That's good.
you know, for painters who've never been to a workshop is very rare.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, define workshop. It was a free thing
Even
for
this
La
guy
Papa.
goes to workshops.
Is that a workshop for 4 hours? Then I guess it's a workshop. I'm okay.
know.
Whatever it is, it's okay.
How many thousands of dollars have people spent on workshops? Can't take it with you, right, Mike? Sorry, Mike, I didn't read the email.
Do you, paint true to your photo, or do you deviate, Mike?
Oh yeah, I don't, I'm not a slave to the photo. I mean, the photo is a reference. I think the most important thing when you're painting is that whatever you're feeling, whatever you're trying to do is what comes through. I mean, all my paintings, you can recognize the place that it was at, but I'm not concerned with it being exact. Although I love this photograph. And if I had more time, it would be more accurate to that photograph.
What do you think the center of interest is on this photograph?
What is the interest?
Center of interest that you
Oh
try to
yeah,
address?
so I don't believe in that,
You don't?
no. Yeah, I think that,
Just the overall look, huh? You want the overall look.
yeah, when I pick a subject to paint, I'm not going for one thing that I like in the painting. I'm going for the overall feeling of the painting. In this one, the colors were so phenomenal. This is not Photoshop, this is just the way it was that day. It was incredible. I could go there probably 1,000 times and not find it looking like that. It was just unbelievable. So I'm just looking for something, I mean, I don't know, I guess it's kind of a cliche, right? I'm just trying to paint things that are pretty when it comes down to it. And then what is pretty, right? is what you think is pretty, right? You can't worry about what everybody else thinks is pretty. How much time?
You're at 56.
Oh, 4 minutes, all right.
Mike, can you push the left side of your painting back on the easel? It has come forward. There we go.
Thank you. How many minutes? 2 minutes?
Yes.
All right, the big finale. All right, so I want to do something to make that water reflection more exciting. Hopefully I don't fail.
You must like that square ring size, right? Instead of 20 by 20?
Yes. What happens if I go over to it? Is there some kind of, do I have to give part of my feedback? I'm just kidding.
I'm just being obnoxious. I do that well.
pleasure.